Hello. What I would like to do in this screencast is to step through a couple of relatively straightforward searches in Hollis and then in the Google spreadsheets for items that I encounter in my Photostat book. I have taken a relatively high resolution photo of one of the pages of my Photostat book so that I can refer to it in this screencast. Let's start with the top card here, and let's take a moment to look at it to get a sense of the information here that we can use to pin down a record in the spreadsheet. For my process, the first piece of information I look to is the call number. Here it is at the top right corner of the card. It's 18C9. What I will do is start by searching for that call number in Hollis and see whether I can pull up a record that corresponds with the cataloging metadata contained in this card. And by cataloging metadata, I just mean such information as the author or creator, which presumably is this name here, title of the work, publication place and year, pagination information. This symbol indicates that it's an octavo volume. Not necessarily the most important piece of information, but potentially useful. Let's see if we can find this record in Hollis. To get to Hollis, you do not start by typing Jollis, you start by typing hollis.harvard.edu. It brings up the main search screen. We're going to be searching for a BML style call number. Click on starts with /browse, and you'll find the various search categories that you can use to get into the catalog. What we want is call number /other. BML style call numbers generally will get fetched when you search under call number -other. So I'll type in that call number, which is 18C9. Notice I'm typing a lowercase c. These searches aren't case sensitive. The first record that comes up looks to be a match. It's got the same title, same author, same call number. Let's click on it. The top half of the screen indicates information recorded in the bibliographic record for this work. That's what we see here under details. And everything seems to match up. Pagination, publication year. Oh, and notice that it can, obviously, as you've probably already discovered, it can be hard to determine what a given character is. These photostats are pretty grainy and they lose some detail. In particular, in this case, the publication year could be 1868 or 1863, but it's pretty clear just on circumstantial grounds, given that everything else kind of matches up, that this reads 1863, as we see in this record. And then when we look down in the holdings, we see a holdings statement indicating that Countway has an offsite item under this call number. So to me, that confirms that there is a record in the spreadsheet to be found. And the way I like to look for a record in the spreadsheet at this point is to search in the spreadsheet by the Hollis number attached to the bib record. So I'll copy that, go to the main spreadsheet, bring up the search field. Now I'm going to search throughout the entire spreadsheet and all of its component sheets. And that's why it's important to make sure that when you open up this search field in Google Sheets, that you're searching all the sheets, rather than this particular sheet you're on or some specific range within the sheets, but you're searching everywhere because your search could take you anywhere. Paste in the MMS ID that we copied from Hollis. Click Find. And it looks as though we have our match. It brings us to this row. We have the right author. Notice that the author cells are merged because all of these works contain the same author data value. And that's fine, we don't need to worry about that. The title matches, all of the other metadata match up, the call number is correct. We have our match. We can identify this because it's a dateless BML style call number. We know that this is going to be recorded as owned by BML. And we're done with that record. So now let's move on to the next card. Notice that there are two call numbers, a dateless BML call number to the left and a BML call number with date on the right. B and A here are not parts of the call number. That's important to note. Generally, when there are multiple call numbers recorded on a single card, they've been tagged, as it were, as the A call number, the B call number. Sometimes there's a C call number on a given card. That indicates that there are several copies of the work cataloged under the same card. And in this case, evidently, one copy was an HML-owned copy and the other a BML-owned copy. So, following the procedure that I like to use, we'll start by searching for a call number. Let's try the call number with date, 1EA 1939-12. Go back up to call number other search, 1EA 1939-12. In this case, we don't seem to have found a match. None of these titles and authors match with what we want. The call number doesn't come up. This suggests that one of two things is the case. Either a record for this work is a holding, or at least an item record is suppressed in Hollis, so it's not showing up in the Hollis search, or there just is no record in ALMA at all under this call number. But now, at this point, since we're really looking for a bib record first, let's try searching on the other call number on this card, 1EA 998. And as you'll see, that call number does pull up the record we want. Author, title, publication, year, all seem to match. They do match. Click on that result. We're told that Count Way Offsite has a copy under that call number. There it is. Everything seems to match up nicely. So we'll confirm that by copying the Hollis number and searching on it. And there it is. We have the author we want, title, everything matches, the call number matches. This is a dateless BML call number, which indicates that the ownership of this item is BML. Now, what to do with the other copy represented on this card? Well, there are a couple of things that you can do at this point to see whether there is a record at all that is possibly suppressed. You don't really need to do this, I don't think. But if you have access to the ALMA backend, you can check and see what other suppressed records there might be in ALMA, just to see whether there is another copy somewhere in ALMA under this call number. We can take that very MMS ID that we have been using, paste it into ALMA. And again, this applies to those who have access to ALMA. Search on that MMS ID. That will bring up the bibliographic record that we were looking at in Hollis. And then we can click on Holdings to see what copies are held where. And all we're seeing here is the offsite copy we've already dealt with under the BML call number without date. And that further indicates that we're not going to find a record under the other BML call number with date. So at this point, I would go to the additional photostat items sheet, and guess what? I've already entered the data for this. How surprising that I rehearsed this screencast in advance. And what I did here was to paste the MMS ID in the MMS ID field. So we're talking about creating a new row in the additional photostat items sheet, because we are recording a copy that, according to the photostats, was held at one point by HML, but we can't find it under that call number anywhere in ALMA now. And so it meets our criteria for going in the additional photostat items sheet. So you enter the MMS ID, you enter the ownership of that copy we're concerned with, which would be HML, and you paste in from, I just pasted it in from the Hollis results in the Hollis search, paste in the title of the work, the author of the work, and then I hand typed in the call number. And so now I've created an entry in the additional photostat items sheet that corresponds to this item recorded in the photostats. So that represents a couple of fairly commonly encountered cases as you search through the photostat books. Ideally, you can search on a call number in Hollis, get the bibliographic record that you want, which has the holdings you're expecting, and then you can copy the MMS ID to search for that item. You don't have to search on the MMS ID. You can search on something else. You can search on the title. You can search on the call number. But the MMS ID is a unique identifier, and so it will generally take you directly to the record you're looking for. And in most cases, it's as straightforward as that. You find the record in the main spreadsheet, you assign ownership accordingly, and you move on. In other screencasts, I will step through a couple of other somewhat more complicated cases that you encounter. But the cases that we've discussed in this screencast, I think, cover a large number of the ones that you'll be doing as you go through your photos.